I'm saying that this is a fraction. I know it is a fraction because it is less than a whole. It's not a whole. Now, whenever I get two fractions to add or to subtract, we're doing addition or subtraction here. Two fractions to add or to subtract, the first thing I have to notice is that they do not have the same denominator. So they don't have a common denominator. They do not have the same denominator, and so because of that, we have to find a common denominator. So the next step here is that I have to find a common denominator. So I'm trying to find a common denominator for 5 and 6. I have to do what? Find a common denominator. I'm finding a common denominator for 5 and 6. I'm taking my 5 times table. I go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. I'm going to stop right there. I know why I'm stopping there, okay? But you could go all the way up with your 12, you with your 5 times table to 12, but I'm stopping there. Okay, now I take my 6 times table. 6, 12, 18. 18 plus 6 is 24, 24 plus 6 is 30. I'm gonna stop right here because I noticed that I have a what? A common denominator. There's 30 in this group, and there's 30 in that group, so I could stop right there because all I'm looking for when I'm writing the second table is a number that matches 1 at the top. You understand? I did the first one. I could do the first one, as I say, all the way up to 12. Back to the second one, I am now looking for a number that matches. So right here, I notice that 30 is a common denominator. In other words, 30 is in both my 5 times table and my 6 times table. It is the smallest number that is in my 5 times table and my 6 times table. That is why I call it the what? Lowest common denominator. It's called the lowest common denominator. The lowest common denominator for 5 and 6 here is 30. What is it called? The lowest common denominator. In other words, it is the smallest number, the smallest multiple of both 5 and 6. Lowest common multiple for my 5 times and my 6 times table is 30. Okay, so now that I have established that, I can go ahead with my addition. So let me rewrite this fraction here. 3 over 5 plus 4 over 6. I'm going to put a line here, and I'm going to write below that line the lowest common denominator for 5 and 6. The lowest common denominator for 5 and 6 is 30. That's my next step. My next step is I'm going to take 5 and divide it into 30. 30 divided by 5. What is 30 divided by 5? How many times? I have my tables up here. How many times did I go? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I went 6 times. I'm going to use the answer that I get when I divide. 5 into 30 goes 6 times. I'm going to use the answer, and I'm going to multiply my numerator. So I'm going to take that answer, and I am going to use that answer. I did 5 into 30. I got 6 times. I'm going to use 6 to multiply 3. What is 6 times 3? 18. Come on, sound like some of us still need to go learn the tables in. 6 times 3 is 18. Now I'm going to take the 6. 6 into 30. How many times can I get 6 out of 30? The table is right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. 6 into 30 is 5 times. So I'm going to take the answer that I get, which is 5, and multiply 4. What is 5 times 4?
20.
20. So now I have 18 plus 20. What is 18 plus 20?
38.
What is it?
38.
38. 18 plus 20 is going to give me 38. So that is equal to 38 over 30. My next question is to ask, how many times can I get 30 out of 38? One time. I can get 30 out of 38 one time, and I made this one big because my answer is now going to be a mixed fraction, mixed number. 30 divided by 38 equals 1, and what's my remainder? 8. And I am left with 8 over 30. So my answer is 1 time and 8 over 30. Okay, now let me take that again from the beginning, and I'm simply going to go through, because as I said, I'm starting with simple fractions. Simple fraction with different denominators. First thing I'm going to do is to do what? Find common denominator. And the numbers I have here are 5 and 6. In order to find a common denominator for 5 and 6, I always say the first one, I take my 5 and I write out my 5 times table. Then I'm going to take my 6 and I'm going to do my 6 times table, and I'm looking for a number, the smallest number, the first number that matches the number in my 5 times table, and that is going to be called my lowest common. It's common because it's in both. That's why we call it what? Common. It is common because it is in both, and it's now going to be my denominator, the lowest common denominator. Now I put that at the bottom, and I am ready to. Now I wouldn't write all of this in my problem. I'm just putting all of that there to explain to you what will happen. So if you were doing your problem, all of this would not be written on your page. You would simply put your line and put your 30. Okay, my next step is now that I have found the denominator, I'm going to find out how many times. So I go 5 into 30 goes
6
5
times.
into 30 goes 6 times. I use that 6 to multiply the numerator. 6 times 3 is 18. I go 6 into 30 goes
5 times.
5 times. I use that 5 to multiply this numerator, and I get
20.
20. Now I have 18 plus 20. 18 plus 20 gives me
38.
38. And I am dividing 38 by 30. 13 to 38 is going to give me 1 time, and I'm left with 8. Okay, so now I'm going to give you a problem to work all by yourself. And let's see what you do. Okay, I'm going to take one of these right over here. I'm going to take 2 over 5 plus, I'm going to change this 2 to 3, plus 3 over 4. Okay, I'll do that one first.